Those of you who don't know who I am, I'm more than just the MC here. I actually, as Jason said, I run the Blockchain Education Network. And for those of you who don't really know what that means, it's a little bit confusing because it's really not like any other product or solution you've seen here today. I like really what John McAfee said about how that you need to build relationships to kind of understand this technology. There's a lot of things going on in Bitcoin and blockchain that are really hard for new users to get involved. And sometimes simply having a conversation with someone with a coffee is the best way to get involved. So what we're doing is trying to scale up blockchain and make it easy for everyone to get involved and get a coffee with someone who might want to talk about it with. And so that's how we're building the blockchain clubs on university campuses across the world. And what's fascinating about this is that it's really, really difficult, for example, to get things started in your home community. If you want to get started in a blockchain community in your hometown, you want to have influence, you want to be able to start getting ATMs or restaurants or other services provided, but you really don't know where to get started. But the cool thing is that you're not alone. People across the world have already got started with this and started setting up successful institutions all over the world. And so if you feel like you want to get involved and start making an impact in your community, you can reach out to anyone who's already done it before, get tips and tricks, remix, and make it even better for the next round. And so with that way, we're trying to create the first generation blockchain. We've actually been really lucky. Mo Levin has been fantastic to us and been giving us free student tickets to these conferences. So since 2014, we've been bringing a group of kids, we get a big Airbnb, and we really provide that first experience for them to have this immersive conversation with people across the world, talk about blockchain, be able to talk about Ethereum, and go into all the access economy. Conversations you cannot have in your hometown if you're the only one. But once you start having those conversations, once you start meeting these people, you can start talking with them online, you can start making things happen, and because you had that magic of that first-person interaction, you feel much more comfortable taking on bigger leaps into this industry, which is a good thing because it's a pretty scary industry to take initiative on your own. So how do we do this? It sounds nice and everything, but we actually have a pretty strategic plan to enable anyone in the world to scale out this initiative without having any kind of bottlenecks. So we use a lot of tactics from Swarmwise. I don't know if any of you know what this is, but it's a really, really awesome way to run a decentralized organization. To break it down, we begin local first. So to get started, you don't have to, the top-down, Ben does not tell any organization what to do. If you're a chapter running your club, we're not going to make you rebrand, we're not going to make you do things our way. We're going to help you take initiative in your hometown, do the things that you want to get involved doing, and then we benefit by getting all those different experiences and different projects running at the same time. Kind of like a laboratory where you're running a lot of different projects. And so by doing that, there's another implication, right? If everything is local first, I have no authority to tell you what to do. And so the whole way the organization runs is by incentives. We host events, we give resources, we connect people together, and the only thing we do is can offer things for people to latch onto. If you want to participate in an event, we'll make it easy for you to do so. If you don't want to, you can join us the next time around. And in doing so, we do what we call a do-ocracy. It's a little different from democracy, where we don't vote on anything. Because if you vote, you create winners and losers, and we're not here to make anyone sad. So instead, we say, hey, do you want to take initiative? Do you want to try out a project? Go for it. We'll help you out. Do you not like the initiative someone else is doing? You can't tell them no, but you can do something better, and then let the merit of those two projects take their stand. So, sounds nice, but we've actually been doing this all year. So let's give some tangible examples. So this August, we actually set forward, we said, we want to help students get involved setting up blockchain on the university clubs. We began in September with a Bitcoin airdrop. We simply got a wallet of 5 Bitcoin, and we said, hey, do you want to set up a new club and get new students to join your blockchain club? Here's some Bitcoin. Give it to kids who are joining their clubs, so instead of just telling them, lecturing them, having pretty talk, you can get it in their wallets and show them it's as easy as downloading an app. You can transfer with friends, you can settle a bar tab or whatever, and then you have this actual tangible good to sink your teeth into. So we offered this pot, and a pot of Bitcoin, and we didn't have any other instructions how people can use it. And clubs across the entire world started reaching out saying, hey, I want to get involved. So for example, with Georgia Tech, they actually had a scavenger hunt. They hit around these little Bitcoin wallets throughout their entire university campus and said, hey, if you find this on campus, take a picture and post it on our Facebook, and then we'll send you some Bitcoin. And so they had kids across their entire campus going underneath tables in the library, going across their campuses and getting really excited about the technology in a really grassroots way. But not just Georgia Tech. We also got people in Florida, New York City, MIT, Ottawa. We had stuff in Italy going on. And it's really exciting because as a student, when you're doing your own local initiative and you see other people doing the same thing with slight remixes, it's a real good incentive to be competitive in your grassroots efforts. And that's the kind of stimulation we like to encourage. So after the airdrop, we get people with Bitcoin in their hands. The next step is educating them, right? I mean, the blockchain learning curve is pretty difficult. So then we followed it up in October with a blockchain education month. We set out a syllabus. We told kids, hey, here's some content we want to create, and we set up some bounties to get it done. And then students from across the world were making videos, making slides, and it's all on YouTube, a big playlist of 6 chapters and I think 5 to 6 modules per. So there's a lot of content out there for you to dive into. So if you were just getting to Bitcoin, you got it in your hands, and now you can learn about it, and there's incentive to get involved. And then we ended it with a nice hackathon. We put out a month-long meta hackathon called the Blockchain Gauntlet, where we basically incentivized kids in North Carolina, Baltimore, DC, New York, pretty much everywhere, to say, hey, do you want to host a workshop? You had people in your club giving up Bitcoin, learning about it, and now you're ready to go take action. Get in the real world and use blockchain now, because your ideas are just as valuable as the people taking action right today. So, what's the end goal of all this, right? Why are we going out of our way? I mean, all these kids are doing this voluntarily. People are spending tons of hours setting up lectures for their clubs, making sure that people on their campus know what it's about. They're reaching out to restaurants, setting up ATMs. But what's the point, right? Well, we think that this is an easy way to start developing a bottom-up globalization movement. If everyone's taking initiative in their hometown and changing things to make it easier for you to use blockchain when you travel there, we end up creating an awesome system of active blockchain hubs where you can travel across the world and immediately reach out to people who are relevant to what you know how to talk about and use your currency natively in their hometown. So for example, we have a Slack group, and if you want to travel to any major city, it's pretty easy just to hop in and say, yo, I'm coming to town. What can we do today? And you'll be able to investigate all the opportunities they have there. There might be investors. There might be people doing projects that you're interested in. And in doing so, you're not just limited to your hometown. You can travel the world and find exactly what you want to get involved in and start to have impact today. And so that's basically what we're trying to put together with the Blockchain Education Network. We brought a bunch of kids out today. If you might send people with the shirts, it has the nice logo. I don't want to make my mic, whatever. But if you want to buy a shirt, we have donations. You get a nice Ben t-shirt with Generation Blockchain on the back if you want to support our mission and get involved. So I don't really have too much more to say about that. I've been leading this for about 1.5 years, and it's been the most exciting opportunity to be able to meet all these kids here doing amazing things, and it constantly makes me feel like I need to do something better because it's incredible what kids today are building, and it makes me super confident about the future. Thanks. Good time for questions? Questions, okay. Anyone have any questions? Yeah. blockchainedu.slack.com. But you can sign up to our website, blockchain.edu. Well, what things slide off. But blockchain.edu, so go in there. There's a sign up form, and we'd love to get you involved. Thank you. Awesome. Cool. Anyone else? What's in store for this year? Okay, so actually, we have a lot of cool things coming up. We have a lot of workshops, for example, in the Netherlands, and coming up later in July, we're actually planning the first student conference. We want to be able to maximize the opportunity that we've built with kids coming to these local conferences and getting inspired, and we want to scale that out to get 200 kids. Because every time we come to Miami, for example, we brought over 40 kids here to Miami. We have a bunch of kids here in the crowd, and woo! Awesome. And these guys here, once they get to know each other, they're friends for life. I met people for the first time at conferences that I'm now talking to on a daily basis, and every time we do things, it inspires us to keep getting involved. And then once you're kind of taking action, there's really no way of going back. Once you start using Bitcoin and start taking impact in your local community, how are you possibly going to go back to a bank account where you have no ability to take action? And so we think it's a nice way to seed these seeds of disruption by getting people just these first tastes, these first touches, these first relationships with people across the world to realize you can do this. It's really not that hard, and no one really has the expertise to tell you that you can't. And so we think this is an interesting way of getting a lot of people together in one place and providing the magic of these real-world experiences to promote other opportunities. So, yeah. 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 So go to blockchainedu.org/BEM. B-E-M. BEM. With the month. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends who you're asking, right? I mean, that's the thing, because like I, as the executive director, as Ben, don't want to tell any kid what they can do. I can give my recommendations, but I prefer when kids are actually interacting with people in their hometown and they use the solutions that they're using together. Because the idea, if you're creating your own solution, your own initiative, you're going to develop use cases based on your own like obstacles, priorities, things that you have available that other people don't, and that creates the more like actual customization needed for each city. And the cool thing is when everyone's doing that, like it's still compatible with other cities. So I can go to like the Netherlands, for example, and I can easily use Bitcoin over there and not have to worry about the conversion costs. I mean, I'll bring some dollars, but for the most part, it's a lot easier to have a friend group there where I can just bring my crypto and feel comfortable. Okay? Hey. edu.org, a little confusing. blockchainedu.org. That's actually called, we can't get .edu because the universities are like clamped down on that. Yeah?
You know who's coming in, take over your role, and what are you going on to do?
Yeah, so I'm actually, I'm not going to reveal that just yet, but I'm personally going to move on to unsung.org. So I'm working with Jason King. We're going to be solving hunger. But the next coming up, we have a lot of cool things coming. We have a lot of really institutional sponsors coming up. This year, we closed deals with IEEE and Block. And so we're really trying to scale this out to provide more like job opportunities, get kids the ability to, like, if you're a developer or if you're a marketing person, like there's things out there in blockchain that need your help. And it's really hard to find the talent. And so because we're creating all this network of kids taking initiative, we want to be able to give these institutions the ability to like dip into these kids creating the paradigm shifts. I'm staying on, yeah, I'm going to stick around. I can't leave this thing behind. I'm always going to be around, but yeah.
Where would you find campuses?
Yeah, so we have like campus, I mean, we have people in Toronto, New York, MIT, Berkeley, California, the Netherlands, Italy. People in Shanghai are reaching out to us right now. It's really basically, if you want to take initiative, reach out to us. And if you have even just 2 or 3 people, we'll help you get more. And like the thing is, it's important is we want those few to 3 people, like 1 or 2 people, to feel like they're not alone and that their initiative is not too small. Aaron was talking to me earlier. I was hosting his airdrop, for example. They did the first airdrop down here in Florida, and they're getting their students involved. And he was talking to me as if like, what they're doing is small. They're just getting started. But in reality, it's huge. Like they're creating a club that's going to be lasting for each new year of freshmen. As you're going from high school to college and you're like, oh, like this is a fascinating technology, I want to meet new people who are involved. You now have a club there that can slowly grow and grow and grow and start to have relationships with people around you. And so that's the kind of thing that is really important about starting small and then because it blossoms so quickly. Done? All right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much.